When my problems really began, I grew up in a home where my mom and dad were hard workers, and we went through a tragedy and I was 10 years old. My sister, she was 12. We lost my father really early. His life was taken at the age of 38. And both parents, like I said, were very involved, with our upbringing. They worked hard. But when he was taken out of the picture, it left us pretty in a place of despair, darkness. And my mother, she went through a depression, but at that time, I didn't understand that that's what she was going through. And my sister and I, we both kind of started looking for that love and acceptance outside of the home. And really not understanding at that time the people we were choosing, the things we allowed to come into our life really was a beginning of a road of a dark destruction, not even knowing at that time that that's what we were doing to ourselves. And when I got to college, I realized there were other issues going on because I still was picking the wrong friends, the wrong crowds. I still had a hurt inside of me that I hadn't dealt with. It was that place of despair that I still was not dealing with, and I was using the drugs or the drinking to kind of cover it up. And I still didn't think, though, at that time I had a problem. And I found myself that I needed the drugs. I wanted the drugs more and more to get through situations when things would get rough. I found myself again picking up drugs, or functionally, though, outwardly people thinking I'm okay, but inwardly a lot of hurts. When I really decided to get help, I was so broken, and I found myself in a place of shame. Really didn't want anybody to know that I was in this state, even though some people had suspicion, but they really did not know. And I hid it for so long because I didn't want anybody to know. At one point I felt like I was going to die. I felt like this addiction is going to kill me. I felt like I didn't want to live this dark place anymore. And I started searching through the yellow pages that same day, crying and just hoping that I would find something. And I came across a couple of phone calls with different people, and one place told me, they said there was a place called New Life for Girls. And I called that number, and I spoke with someone, and they told me that, are you ready to make a deep sacrifice for your life, because this is a 12-month program of helping you deal with your inner hurts and get off of the drugs. And I told them, yes, I'm ready. I took a year of my life and I went through this program that was very intense, but it helped me to realize I had value, that there was something, a potential inside of me, that God had given me gifts, that there were things that I had not seen in myself. Even the stigma of going through college, coming into the medical field, being a nurse, having to share that story, a past that most people, you find yourself still, do I share this, do I not, because you get this stigma again of how society views people that have had struggles with drugs. So I believe dealing with that stigma is very important, and sometimes I have to be willing to tell my story to others to help somebody else, which I believe is very important, because there are people that need that support. My recovery tools are spiritual. That's what I'm active in my church. I'm very active with New Life for Girls. I support the ministry and staying in tune with the other staff, with the other girls, even the girls that are in the program that are going through the same thing that I went through 20 years ago. My circle of people that sharpen me. I feel, you always got to have somebody that's a little above you that keeps you sharpened, that kind of pulls you up, and that you can continue to grow, continue to have the potential inside of you. And also I have a good support system, my family. My husband, I've been married now for 17 years, and he was a support, throughout the years of my relationship with New Life for Girls and going through the program. My son, I love my children. And you have to give back in some kind of way. You can't just get what you get and say, I got clean and that's it. It's more to it than that, Your life has to be used, I believe, to help somebody else come pull them, from that place.